We ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his Spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please read the Statement of Compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
The Chair wishes to announce that pursuant to requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated, Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2014, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances, to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2014 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2014 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. First, we have a series of presentations this evening, and I would like to call upon Freeholders Kowalski and Wright for our first.
Now it's on, right? Okay. And we'd like to call Ms. Trish Stone up to the front. We're here to thank you for your many years of service. 27 years, right? And Division of Planning and Human Services. I know Trish from the Human Service Advisory Council. You are so involved with serving the people in need of Union County. And let me just read the resolution, because a lot of people are not really aware of some of the services we provide, and you have been involved in so much. So. And I know Freeholder Wright joins me in congratulating you on your well-deserved retirement. In 1987, Tricia Stone, a graduate of Montclair University who also holds a graduate certificate in public management from Kean University, began her 27-year career in the Department of Human Services as the county alcoholism coordinator, and the following year became a senior program development specialist. You were promoted to become Deputy Director in 2003 and the Director of the Division of Planning in 2007. The Division of Planning manages social and support services through contract administration and community-based agencies or through direct service provision through the administration of local, state, and federal grants. This funding provides for alcohol and drug abuse treatment, the court-referred Intoxicated Driver Resource Center, mental health services, services for the homeless or those at risk for homelessness, the Office for the Disabled, and the county's Rape Crisis Center. And whereas the Division of Planning is responsible for facilitating collaborative partnerships among all of Union County's social service providers, consumers, community stakeholders, the New Jersey Department of Human Services, and the New Jersey Department of Children and Families through the administration of the county's Human Services Advisory Council, and HISAC reviews budgets, allocates funding, and monitors contracts for service delivery to ensure that Union County's human services needs are met. So you, Tricia, were one of the first paramedics in New Jersey. I didn't know that about you. And you've served as a volunteer emergency medical technician in Linden. So therefore be it resolved that the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders express our deep appreciation to Trish Stone for your 27 years of dedicated public service and outstanding leadership that have benefited the people of Union County and New Jersey. So, thank you so much.
Just thank you. I just want to say this is like a walk down memory lane. Thank you. It has been The 27 years, it has been wonderful. I was fortunate to be in Human Services, where I've mentioned before to others, we get the opportunity to help people every day, and what more can we ask? So, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Trish. Good job, Trish.
We know all.
Thank you, Trish.
And for our second presentation, if Freeholder Estrada would join Freeholder Kowalski.
And we're going to call up Ms. Jan Lillian from the YWCA. Jan was part of, well, you were a sponsor and I'm sure organizer, and I don't know how much you did with today's program about domestic abuse, which over at Kane University, which was an outstanding program and very well attended and wonderful speakers. And I know the repercussions will be felt throughout the county. All the people involved in the domestic abuse program, prevention program, are doing such great work. This particular resolution, Freeholder Estrada and I are joining to recognize the month of April as National Child Abuse Prevention Month throughout the U.S. Child maltreatment occurs when people find themselves in stressful situations without community resources and don't know how to cope. And during periods of economic challenges, families feel more vulnerable. And as a result, child abuse and neglect increases drastically. Child abuse is considered to be one of our nation's most serious public health problems, with scientific studies documenting the link between the abuse and neglect of children and a wide range of medical, emotional, psychological, and behavioral disorders. All citizens should become involved in supporting families in raising their children in a safe and nurturing environment. And effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships created among state and local government agencies, schools, faith communities, civic organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community, and of course in organizations such as yours, the YWCA. So now be it resolved that the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union hereby proclaims the month of April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the County of Union and joins in observing the month with appropriate activities. So I will present this to you and offer you the microphone to make a couple of comments.
Thank you. YWCA Union County is the lead domestic violence agency, and as such, we address issues, co-occurring issues such as child abuse, sexual assault, all the time. We're committed to ending domestic violence and related violence in our lifetimes. That's what today's symposium was about, and we invite you all to partner with us in that effort. So thank you very much.
Freeholder Estrada's been a long-time supporter of the Y. You don't want to say anything? Okay. Okay. All right. We'll do the.
Thank you, Freeholder Kowalski. Excellent job. And again, I want to extend my congratulations to the YWCA. I have some comments at the end of the meeting, but I don't think you'll make it to the end. But just wanted to say it was an outstanding presentation today, and it was a tremendous to see so many individuals from the various social services agencies in Union County and law enforcement really coming together to deal with the very serious issue that is domestic violence. Moving into our agenda, I do have one other speaker to come up, but I just want to knock out first. We have a number of communications that must be approved. Can I have a motion, please, to approve communications?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
The motion was made by Freeholder Mirabella and seconded by Freeholder Kowalski. Mr. Clerk, would you please read the roll?
Freeholder Carter.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Granados.
Yes.
Freeholder Kowalski.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Wright.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jallo.
Aye.
And Chairman Hudak.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 8 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We have a series of minutes that need approval. We have an agenda meeting and a regular meeting on February 6, 2014, an agenda meeting on February 20th, 2014, and a regular meeting on February 27th, 2014. May I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion was made by Freeholder Estrada, seconded by the Vice Chair. Mr. Clerk, may I have the roll call, please?
Freeholder Carter.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Granados.
Yes.
Freeholder Kowalski.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Wright.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jallo.
Aye.
And Chairman Hudak.
Aye to all with the exception of the Thursday, February 20th agenda setting meeting. I will abstain on that one.
Okay. Chairman, you have 8 votes in the affirmative with the exception of the minutes of the Thursday, February 20th, 2014 agenda setting meeting minutes, with 7 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Clerk. Before we get into resolutions and comments on those resolutions, we do have a special guest with us this evening. Cindy Randazzo is the Director of the Office of Local Government Assistance in the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. She liaises with all 21 counties and all the municipalities in the state of New Jersey, and she's just coming as part of a tour around the state to say hello and lend assistance. But I asked her to say just a few comments at the beginning of the meeting. So Cindy, the microphone is yours.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, freeholders. And it's just as you said, I am zigzagging across the state. I have 565 municipalities in all 21 counties under my purview. I have 2,800 employees back at DEP, 75 plus programs, and it's really my mission to connect all of you in ways that you need to be. The one name you need to know at DEP is mine, because you just need one email address, one phone number. If you have any questions, concerns, I certainly want to be that gateway. Some of you have already worked on with various projects. I hope to work with all of you at some point. One thing that works really well, here I am coming, crashing your freeholder meeting, but if you have a list of items that we can help you with, certainly provide them to me, and then I will come to your working meeting with our program staff so that we can make sure that your projects are moving smoothly. So it's just customer service.
And we appreciate it. Freeholders, any questions for the director? Representative of the DEP, while you got the chance. Freeholder Estrada.
If I may use the opportunity, I've had numerous conversations through the years with Ms. Randazzo, and I always found it to be an individual who cares of helping, and she is the gate to our contacts in terms of Department of Environmental Protection. Thank you.
Thank you. And the one thing, it's Commissioner Martin's, it really is urging for me to come out and do more work. I know my predecessor, really did a main focus on municipalities, and 565 is a daunting number, but when you have 21 counties and so many regional issues, I know it's really nice to be able to partner for cost savings and job sharing and those types of things. So I think it's really a productive relationship, so we look forward to that partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. It was a pleasant surprise to have you here, and I know we introduced you to Bill Reyes, who's our new Director of Economic Development. So that's the department that we do a lot of those projects for and work with the municipalities. So we appreciate you coming tonight, and we know we'll be calling on you in the future. And with that, we have the public comment portion of our meeting. If you, Councilman, if you just give me a moment, I just have a brief statement to read. Prior to opening tonight's meeting for comments on resolutions to be adopted, I would like to point out that resolution number 2014-192 is to be introduce the 2014 amendments to the 2014 budget. At this time, I would like to ask the clerk of the board to read those amendments, which is why I think it's very I'm sorry, 292. I apologize. Resolution 2014-292. At this time, I would like to ask the clerk of the board to read those amendments, after which I will open the meeting for comments on resolutions being offered for adoption. Please note that there will be a public hearing on the amendments to the 2014 budget on Thursday, April 24th at 6 p.m. So feel free to if you'd like to make comments during resolutions regarding the budget amendments, but we'll be having a public hearing at that time, so we'll be able to answer more questions at that instance. Mr. Clerk, if you'd like to read the budget, please. Read the amendments.
Certainly. 2014 County Budget Amendment, County of Union for the calendar year ending December 31st, 2014. Revenue and Appropriation Summaries. Summary of Revenues, Current Fund. Number 3, total miscellaneous revenues anticipated from $157,820,631 to $157,923,800. Number 5, subtotal general revenues, items 1, 2, 3, and 4, anticipated from $177,820,631 to $177,923,800. Number 6, amount to be raised by taxation, county purpose tax, anticipated from $330,782,634 to $327,061,905. Total general revenues from $508,603,265 to $504,985,705. Summary of appropriations, current fund. Number 1, operating expenses, salaries and wages from $174,848,639 to $175,423,786. Other expenses, $209,304,110 to $208,752,209. Public and private programs offset by revenues from $17,036,130 to $17,088,130. Number 3, capital improvement fund from $5 million to $3,500,000. Number 5, deferred charges and statutory expenditures from $42,452,215 to $40,259,409. Total general appropriations from $508,603,265 to $504,985,705. A hearing on the budget amendment will be held at the County Administration Building, 10 Elizabethtown Plaza, 6th floor, Elizabeth, New Jersey, April 24th, 2014 at 6 p.m., at which time and place objections to the budget amendment for the year 2014 may be presented by taxpayers or other interested persons. Copies of the budget are available in the office of the clerk, James Pelletieri, at the County Administration Building, Elizabeth, New Jersey, 908-527-4100 during the hours of 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Budget Amendment Summary. Sheet 2, Summary of the Approved Budget. Total Appropriations, Item 9, Sheet 32, from $508,603,265 to $504,985,705. Less anticipated revenues, Item 5, Sheet 9, from $177,820,631 to $177,923,800. Amount to be raised by taxation, county purpose tax, Item 6, Sheet 9, from $330,782,634 to $327,061,905. Sheet 6, Number 3, Miscellaneous Revenues, Section C, State Assumption of Costs of County, Social and Welfare Services and Psychiatric Facilities. maintenance of patients in state institutions for mental diseases, from $8,883,332 to $8,934,501. Total Section C, state assumption of costs of county social and welfare services in psychiatric facilities, from $37,677,778 to $37,728,947. Sheet 7E, number 3, miscellaneous revenues, Section D, special items of general revenue, anticipated with prior written consent of the Director of Local Government Services, public and private revenues offset with appropriations. CWA, case banking equipment, from $0 to $52,000. Sheet 7F, Section D, special items of general revenue anticipated with prior written consent of the Director of Local Government Services, public and private revenues offset with appropriations, from $15,786,130 to $15,838,130. Sheet 9, number 3, miscellaneous revenues, Section C, state assumption of cost of county social and welfare services and psychiatric facilities, from $37,677,778 to $37,728,947. Total Section D, special items of general revenue anticipated with prior written consent, the Director of Local Government Services, public and private revenues offset with appropriations, from $15,786,130 to $15,838,130. Number 3, total miscellaneous revenues, from $157,820,631 to $157,923,800. Number 5, subtotal general revenues, items 1, 2, 3, and 4, from $177,820,631 to $177,923,800. Number 6, amount to be raised by taxation, county purpose tax, from $330,782,634 to $327,061,905. Number 7, total general revenues, from $508,603,265 to $504,985,705. Sheet 10, A, operations, general government, clerk of the board, salary and wages, from $963,730 to $1,004,040. Sheet 11, county clerk, salary and wages, from $1,943,298 to $1,965,944. Board of Elections, salary and wages, from $1,328,696 to $2,053,644. Board of Elections, other expenses, from $1,057,500 to $332,500. Elections, county clerk, salary and wages, from $129,755 to $144,537. Sheet 2, Division of Reimbursement, salary and wages, from $261,643 to $261,878. Division of Controller, salary and wages, from $829,827 to $841,036. Aid to Union County Improvement Authority, other expenses, from $500,000 to $600,000. Sheet 13, from County Adjuster, salary and wages, from $319,729 to $322,910. Department of Administrative Services, Office of the Director, salary and wages, from $610,721 to $443,523. Division of Motor Vehicles, salary and wages, from $1,706,038 to $1,724,523. $2,506. Division of Personnel Management and Labor Relations, salary and wage from $877,677 to $854,934. Sheet 14, Division of Purchasing, salary and wages from $662,478 to $663,397. Board of Taxation, salary and wage from $239,187 to $241,693. County Surrogate, salary and wages from $851,622 to $860,933. Sheet 15, Division of Information Technology, salary and wage from $696,326 to $711,742. Community Development and Housing, salary and wages from $173,144 to $173,678. Sheet 16, Total General Government, salary and wages from $99,545,896 to $99,595,420. Sheet 17, Sheriff's Office, salary and wage from $17,090,533 to $16,889,056. Division of Weights and Measures, salary and wages from $333,144 to $334,149. Sheet 18, Division of Medical Examiner, salary and wage from $535,397 to $514,814. Division of Emergency Management, salary and wage from $585,156 to $546,480. Division of County Police, salary and wage from $7,904,067 to $7,952,510. Sheet 19, County Prosecutor's Office, salary and wage from $20,192,979 to $20,529,823. Department of Corrections, salary and wages from $31,943,242 to $31,958,668. Total Public Safety from $91,630,241 to $91,771,223. Hospital Maintenance, salary and wages from $1,242,373 to $1,198,009. Sheet 20, Division of Public Works, salary and wage from $1,862,669 to $1,931,760. Division of Facilities Management, salary and wage from $6,068,799 to $6,123,829. Total Operational Services from $17,833,025 to $17,912,782. Sheet 20A, Maintenance of Patients' Mental Health Services. Other expenses from $12,385,236 to $12,458,335. Sheet 20B, Department of Human Services, Office of Director, salary and wages from $747,232 to $748,537. Juvenile Detention, salary and wages from $4,989,332 to $5,051,231. Division of Youth Services, salary and wage from $549,080 to $512,749. Employment and Training, salary and wage from $294,223 to $296,555. Sheet 20C, Division of Social Services, salary and wage from $32,074,772 to $31,771,146. Division of Planning, Salary and Wage, from $435,725 to $336,240. Division of Paratransit, Salary and Wage, from $4,063 to $4,249. Total Health and Welfare, from $130,917,814 to $130,616,493. Sheet 20D, Department of Parks and Recreation, Office of the Director, Salary and Wage, from $692,901 to $693,190. Division of Recreational Facilities, Salary and Wage, from $1,273,376 to $1,276,194. Division of Park Maintenance, Salary and Wage, from $2,494,956 to $2,438,462. Bureau of Cultural and Heritage Affairs, Salary and Wage, from $51,059 to $51,686. Total Recreation, from $12,950,179 to $12,897,419. Sheet 20D, Office of the County Superintendent of Schools, Salary and Wages, from $212,762 to $214,718. Union County Extension Service in Agriculture, Salary and Wage, $103,068 to $66,151. Sheet 20E, Total Education, from $18,946,154 to $18,911,193. Sheet 20C, Salary Adjustment, Salary and Wage, from $1,785,436 to $1,927,461. Total Unclassified, from $12,132,253 to $12,274,278. Subtotal Operations, from $383,955,562 to $383,978,808. Just bear with me for one moment. Sheet 26, CWA, Case Banking Equipment, Other Expenses, from $0 to $52,000. Total Public and Private Program Offset by Revenue, from $17,036,130 to $17,088,130. Total Operations, Item A, 8A, from $400,991,692 to $401,066,938. Total Operations, including contingent, from $401,041,692 to $401,116,938. Salary and Wages, from $173,598,639 to $174,173,786. Other expenses, including contingent, from $227,443,053 to $226,943,152. Sheet 27, C, Capital Improvements. Capital Improvement Fund, Other Expenses, from $2 million to $1,500,000. Road Resurfacing, Other Expenses, from $3 million to $2 million. Sheet 28, Total Capital Improvements, from $5 million to $3,500,000. Sheet 29, D, County Debt Service. 2, Payments of Bond Anticipation Notes, Other Expenses, from $13,000 to $66,927. Sheet 30, Number 6, Lease to Improvement Authority Debt Service, UCIA, Other Expenses, from $11,619,792 to $11,565,865. Sheet 32, E, deferred charges and statutory expenditures, county. Public Employees Retirement System, other expenses, from $15,952,815 to $14,536,814. Police and Firemen's Retirement Fund, other expenses, from $13,214,400 to $12,437,595. Total statutory expenditures from $41,717,215 to $39,524,409. Total deferred charges and statutory expenditures, county, from $42,452,215 to $40,259,409. Number 9, total general appropriations from $508,603,265 to $504,985,705. Sheet 33, A, operations. Subtotal operations from $383,955,562 to $383,978,808. Public and private programs offset by revenues from $17,036,130 to $17,088,130. Total operations including contingent from $401,041,692 to $401,116,938. C, capital improvements from $5 million to $3,500,000. 2, total statutory expenditures from $41,717,215 to $39,524,409. Total deferred charges and statutory expenditures, county, from $42,452,215 to $40,259,409. And finally, 9, total general appropriations from $508,603,265 to $504,985,705. Chairman.
Fine and noble effort, Mr. Clerk. Well done.
Chairman, if I may, before we take public comment on that, if we can have the fiscal chairman, the director of finance, rather, just make a statement relative to the impact of that on the tax levy.
Sure. Sir, if you would just mind just waiting a few more moments. I wouldn't be surprised if the finance director may answer some of the questions you might have. Ms. Taylor.
Good evening to you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the board. Good evening. Resolution 2014-295 reflects, per the direction of the Board of Chosen Freeholders under the supervision of the Fiscal Committee, an overall reduction of approximately $3.7 million from the introduced budget, which reflected a 4.19% increase over the 2013 budget. It is now reflective of a 2.99% increase over the 2013 budget with this resolution. The resolution essentially still maintains all of our statutory and contractual obligations while meeting the levy cap under the 2010 levy cap. Also, this budget is still subject to state approval. We have received some of our comments back from the state, and all of the items that were in the introduced budget are in line. Additionally, this levy that we are requesting that the board approve with the amendment is actually the lowest in quite a long time. Based upon the information I have tonight, it's actually the lowest in the past 5 years.
Thank you. Correct. That's resolution number 292. Public safety.
Not 295, it's 292.
What's that?
Just so you say the number is 292, not 292. Good evening, Mr. Chairman. I'm Tom Getzendanner, a retired Summit councilman and now representing our local Taxpayers Association. I'm a professional CFO by trade in the corporate America. I'd like to comment on 5 of your 48 bundled resolutions tonight. I think these top four are praiseworthy in no particular order. If you look at 303, this concurs with some time-restricted curbside parking on Springfield Avenue and West Summit, which are going to be much easier for our police force to enforce, so we thank you for that. 297 is going to help our SAGE elder care staff in Summit qualify for some state health insurance plan coverage. We thank you for that. Resolution 295 spends $89,400 for a new Zamboni at Mornenko Ice Rink, which our high school team uses intensely. We thank you for that. And Resolution 320 lets Our House, Inc. briefly close Broad Street in Summit for a 5-mile marathon run on May 4th. We thank you for that. But the real gist of why I'm here tonight is, of course, 290, and now you're saying it's 292, not 295.
Correct.
This is the one that amends the original version of Budget 14 introduced, I think, March 19th. We hope that in addition to what I heard tonight from the clerk, you continue to work for further such downward amendments, as I explained in the budget hearing, which I don't think you were present at a half hour ago. In round term, Mr. Chairman, the original proposed budget by your county administrator was up 4.2%. Now, orally, I hear from the clerk that it's now going to be about plus 3%, so it's in the right direction.
2.9.
2.9, call it 0.3%.
So minus 3.
But right from the beginning, from the get-go, we've encouraged you to honor the nominal cap, which is, of course, 2%. So the parting thought tonight is the western end of the county hopes that you continue to work hard in the next 2 weeks and find an additional $3.5 million savings so that the levy increase is only $6 million, not $10 million. Thank you.
Can I just ask Director Taylor to come back up? I just want to be clear on one point. This budget, as amended, as the clerk read before, this reflects this class. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure the public is aware that this budget is under the 2010 cap. Did I hear you correct before?
That is correct, sir. Actually, this budget, the amended budget that is up for consideration this evening, reflects actually it does not meet the 2010 cap. It's below the 2010 cap by $2.5 million and below the 1977 cap by $7.6 million.
All right. Thank you very much. Actually, sorry, your time.
Just one half-second thought. There's a misnomer going on here. Of course, you're below cap, the adjusted waiver cap. You could be up 7% and still within cap.
Sorry.
The request is to have you honor the nominal cap without using any waiver exceptions. That would be a true, hard 2%.
Thank you for your comments. Any other comments from the public?
Yeah, John Burry, Kenilworth. Well, I don't think, I only caught up toward the last half of that. Not that I want him to repeat it, but when I started writing this stuff, it looked like 2.2 million of that reduction is directly due to a pension gimmick that, it's pretty much a continuation of what the state has been doing with these pensions. And I mean, if these public workers in this room honestly knew what was going on, it'd be. And this is pathetic. What happened here? They strong-armed the actuaries to reduce the contribution. So $2.2 million, it looks like, just came from that gimmick that reduced contributions. I'm guessing on that. But my question is on another number I picked up here. Payment of bond anticipation notes went from $13,000 to $66,972. So I'm guessing that there'll be bonding directly. So how much more bonding will there be that this extra $53,972 is going to pay for? That was it.
Can you answer that? I mean, Director Taylor, is there a question there to be answered?
The change in debt service that's referenced, the principal on notes, is actually reflective of the third legal installment payment required by law for some of our notes, sir.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public?
Good evening, Chairman Hudak, ladies and gentlemen of the Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson, Garwood. And 292 on page 2, that's the one where you're actually decreasing our tax burden by 3.7 million down to 9.5 million. And I will thank you for that because you're actually decreasing the taxes, although according to Mr. Getzendammer, it still is insufficient, but at least we thank you for reanalyzing the budget and possibly working forward to additional savings. Mr. Burry mentions a 2.2 million by pension gimmicks. But from what I understand, I mean, it's the state's calculations, and it may be a gimmick, but it's the state's calculations, and maybe Bibby Taylor can agree to, come down and confirm that. But they're giving you these numbers, so it is what it is. It's the state is coming up with those numbers. I guess out of that 3.7 million decrease, which it came up, the 2.2 million sounds like the pension gimmick from the state. And the other balance is 1.5 million, and that appears to be from the capital expenditures. I guess the roads you're cutting back on. So that's, that totals 3.7 right there. So that's 292. Just moving on. Oh yeah, maybe she can. Bibby Taylor can confirm this also. The other meeting, 2014-234, was a resolution, and it was
Not on the agenda, sir.
no, but it's exceeding the county tax levy cap. That's something that Mr. Getzendammer, I think, mentioned, and I would assume for this amendment, does this still?
It is not on the agenda.
I know, but is this amendment still mean that it's in effect or not in effect? That's something that has to do with 292.
We passed the resolution.
Yes, you did, but now that
We
you,
did not rescind the resolution. And that resolution's not up for discussion right now. If you want to speak about it during your comments, feel free to, but it is not on the it is not on the agenda at this moment.
wow. Okay. Number 307 on page 4. Here is the design, construction, administration, and inspection services for Oak Ridge Park Improvement Project. And this has been in the works a couple of years. You at one point talked about phasing, maybe 3 or 4 phases. This one's for $439,823 to Neglia, and this is just soft construction, soft costs. It's not even any tangible hard construction cost. And my question is this the total, all the phases, or is there actually going to be more cost over and above that? You were talking about it about 3 years ago. I would like to know the criteria of how Neglia gets this amount of money, $439,000, only because I've mentioned this before. Neglia has given the freeholders $19,000 in political donations for the 4 years. So I'd like to know the criteria and if that's part of it. So that's if you could help me out on that. Number 310 on page 4, and this is interesting. This is $180,000 to the Elizabeth Parking Authority. And I'm not questioning that because I see this as an annual resolution cropping up. But the wording is a little different now that you're obtaining it through advertised public bidding. And this is for jury parking in Elizabeth for the Elizabeth Courthouse. My question here is, why are you now advertising the public bidding? This is a new process. My question is, did you go out to Clark and Rawway for parking, for jury parking, which sounds totally facetious, but that's the question. And I must take exception to even expending this $180,000, which is every year. We paid Elizabeth $19 million to their parking authority to build that very large parking garage right down the street, and yet we're still paying Elizabeth another $180,000. By all rights, we shouldn't be paying them any more since we gave them $19 million for that parking garage, towards that parking, because it was a lot more than that. Number 322 on page 6. That's the one determining that 214 Union County budget will be read by title and declaring that the public. I can't read the resolution?
No, because your 5 minutes is up. Have a seat, please.
I'm glad you're proactive towards the public, especially when it comes to the budget. I was stopped.
Have a seat.
Okay. I'll
Have
be
a
back
seat.
on it.
And there will be a public hearing, as was mentioned earlier. Just in regards to 310, County Council, do you have any comments in regard to advertised public bidding, if that represents some sort of change?
It is not a public bid. It was through a local public agency. The city of Elizabeth and the authority is a public entity. It inaccurately reflects an advertised public bid. This was not there.
Okay. And is that, and just also my understanding, that's a state mandated cost, correct?
Excuse me. At the time of the state takeover in 1995, the county was, excuse me, was required to provide certain services, amenities, and facilities to continue with the courts, and one of them was a fixed number of parking spaces. I believe that number is 215 spaces. We've been providing that since 1995.
Thank you, County Council.
You're welcome.
Any other members of the public wishing to comment on resolutions only on the agenda? Thank you. At that, I will close that portion of the meeting. And may I have a motion to adopt resolutions 2014-292 through 2014-339?
Seconded.
The motion was made by Freeholder Carter, and it was seconded by the Vice Chairman. Mr. Clerk, please read the roll.
Freeholder Carter.
Yes.
Freeholder Strada.
Yes, with a no on 307.
There's a no on 307.
Correct.
Freeholder Granados.
Yes.
Freeholder Kowalski.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Wright.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jallo.
Aye.
And Chairman Hudak.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 8 votes in the affirmative for the resolutions, with the exception of Resolution 2014-307, with 7 votes in the affirmative, with 1 negative.
Okay. I'm now going to open up the meeting for public comment. Any member of the public wishing to speak on any purpose may come to the microphone. Please state your name and count of residence for the record, and adhere to the 5-minute time limitation.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the Freeholder Board. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you this evening. I want to acknowledge your...
Councilman, just state your name and count of residence.
Thomas Hannon
Thank you.
from the Township of Cranford.
Thank you.
I'd like to acknowledge your previous work in the area of concern about the field of Union County College that it's about to build. Unfortunately, not 1 week after my last visit here, the College Foundation sent out a Your Name Here field solicitation for private funding of that field. As I expressed previously to the board, it's a concern of the township and its residents to prevent a bad situation as regards flooding from becoming worse. The removal of the 700 trees will make that bad situation in Cranford worse. It's the intention of Cranford's Township Committee and its citizens to protect the watershed that, while it provides numerous recreational opportunities, has resulted in catastrophic losses over the years. Hurricane Irene alone resulted in over $60 million worth of damages throughout the watershed. While the college's proposed plans may meet DEP's stormwater management minimum requirements, the reality is that the construction in this location will discharge additional water into Nomahegan Lake and into the Rahway River. As a person responsible for emergency management in Cranford, I already have a significant challenge in evacuating residents in flood-prone areas in an emergency. I now have to take this additional potential burden on the watershed into consideration because it potentially lies below the downstream National Weather Service telemetry stations. We're hoping you can join us in finding alternatives to this location that will not adversely impact flooding in the Township of Cranford. The Township is requesting that the Board join us in these efforts. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your time and patience.
Thank you, Councilman.
Chairman and members of the board. My name is John McCormack, and I'm a resident of Westfield, New Jersey. And I'm here also to discuss the Union County College project for an athletic field. I reside on Cooler Street in Westfield. I'm about 300 yards from the proposed site of the athletic field. And I have a twofold interest in this matter. First, I'm a harried resident because of the potential consequences of this project. And secondly, I have an interest in the ecological results that will ensue as a result of the project. I have some specific training in ecology and site management, in that I'm a Union County Master Gardener through the Extension Service. I've completed New Jersey Environmental Sustainability Training, and I hold both a New Jersey DEP Commercial Pesticide Applicator license and a fertilizer license in New Jersey, and I have my own turf consulting company. Now, this project is going to overstress the infrastructure and reduce the quality of life in both Cranford and Westfield, specifically tree removal. A removal of approximately 400 trees, as mentioned before, in 4 acres, will considerably increase the water runoff of this area. Water is going to seek its own level, and it's going to be to places where we don't want it. We also have the benefit of trees. They're our own natural friends. They reduce the greenhouse effect. Everybody's looking to eliminate that, all good, conscious citizens. They help reduce water pollution. They suck up the bad things in the earth so it doesn't go into our streams and watersheds. They also are a noise barrier. Without a tree, you can hear your neighbor cooking. And finally, they also work to absorb noxious chemicals in the air. Now, another effect of this project will be a continuation of heavy, high-volume parking in the residential area. My street, which is perpendicular to Gallows Hill Road, and again, 300 yards from the college, is monopolized by student parking. There isn't a day where you could park in front of your own home. Students use this street as their own domicile. They sleep in the cars, they eat in their cars, they deposit their fast food waste within the street. And this Monday, I was shocked to see a container with human feces left in front of my home. If you're going to spend 8 hours in your car, I guess that's one of the results that you're going to face. Traffic. The volume of traffic is unbelievable. Many of my neighbors have little kids. They won't let them play outside. They supervise them entirely. If this project goes through, you're not only going to have daytime parking and traffic, you're going to have evening traffic and parking, you're going to have it on the weekends. And I'm sure it's going to be open up to many areas other than just the college. Now, in short, this is what I'd like to bring up, and I'll summarize it. 1, it will stress an already flood-prone area. It will stress the ecology of the area, and it will be devastating to the mature trees and plant life that we have here. You can't replace mature trees. It will displace the wildlife in that area that call themselves home. It will also give you unlivable stress on the residents in the area through noise, stadium light pollution, crowding of the roadways and streets, and the litter that will result from these throngs of people. Mark my words, it will cause inevitable bodily harm to the pedestrians, bicyclists, and residents in the area. I hope you take this under consideration and look at the downside. There's got to be another alternative. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, John Berry, Kenilworth. I've got 3 things. 2 of them aren't really mine. First thing is that bond anticipation note, extra 55, just bothers me. It's explained as it's the 3rd legal installment on the notes, but it's something you probably should have known about when the original budget was made up. This really looks like, well, bond anticipation notes, really low interest rates, just 1 year and you pay it back, so it looks like about $500,000 that's just in there somewhere. I still got to look through it. I think you ought to look into that. And when you compare it to the $1 million in capital improvement plus the $2.2 million in pension gimmicks, there really wasn't any reduction. It was just all these other gimmicks. Now, the second thing isn't really me. It's Jim Bittner. He lives in Cranford, and he had. I'll just read what he had directly. I can't really put much emotion in this since I'm not affected, but this is from an email on the Cranford College building. He says, Hudak said at the last meeting that the freeholders would not be supporting the UCC project, but why did they not memorialize it in a resolution? Why are they not attending any of the meetings, especially BJ Kowalski, I'm guessing. This is an issue of quality of life for the Cranford neighborhood surrounding the campus and a flood issue for all of Cranford. It is one thing to publicly say you are not going to support the project financially, but it is another to come out and personally so demonstrate that you support the people of Cranford. That is a little bit more inconvenient. And I notice in the budget that County College is getting $13.5 million, so you are supporting them financially. The last thing is probably a prelude to what Mr. Patterson might have to say. At the last meeting, he attacked you personally, I guess, for being a political boss in Linden. And you're a Democrat, and, you know, Democrats in Linden, I know hardly anything about it. But apparently there's a Democrat Party, there's Democrats for Change, there's True Democrats for Change, or True That Democrats for Change, one of these. I mean, there are a bunch of Democrats, so it really doesn't look to be much bossing going around. But I asked that. I put a blog asking questions whether Mr. Patterson was correct, that you were a boss. And there were hundreds of people saw this. Actually, I could read this into the record. But the boss answer came out. There were 4 people, 4 votes for that. The other option that was in there, which was flunky, that had 96 votes. And there were other categories. I can't really go into them now. Actually, looking at them, I can't go into many of them. Lesniak's masseuse, Joker, Putz,
Come on.
Simply Corrupt.
I think.
You can do better than that.
No, I didn't do it. That's here. I'll leave this here.
You can do better.
It's totally out of order.
Absolutely is.
Are you done, sir?
No. I was interrupted several times. I don't know.
You were just being so classy. So.
Well, in what way? I mean, you're taking my time. This is comment time. If I can't make comments, then should I sit down? I mean, you want to interrupt me again? You don't answer questions, now I can't speak.
Class act as always. Any other members of the public wishing to make comments?
Hello, my name.
And I'm sorry, you came in late to the meeting. Would you be kind enough to say your name and your town of residence for the record, please?
Absolutely. My name is Chemda Mindy Kipnis. I live in Cranford. I'm a resident of Cranford for the past 10 years, and I'm a Union County resident for 30 years. My husband's a Union County resident his entire life. Years ago, we didn't move to Cranford because it was a flood town. And then at some point, we decided that it was okay because there had been a lot of flood mitigation. And since that time, and we love where we live, we love the block where we live, which is Colby Lane, which is right near where the proposed sports complex is going to be. Since that time, there has been flooding, but we were very fortunate because there was no flooding on our block. There was, after Hurricane Irene, a lot of flooding in Cranford at the Nomahegan Park on...
Turn those upside. I apologize. Can you turn them upside?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
This
So
is
everyone-
Nomahegan Park and the gazebo at the park, which shows how high the water came in the Nomahegan Lake. This is the park showing that you can't see any grass because the lake had taken over all the trees. Cranford, as everyone knows, over about 1,600 houses were underwater. Rafts came to take people out of out of Brookside Drive and other streets in the community. This was a disaster. A school was closed for 7 months, and the children had to be dispersed to other schools. What they want to do, what Union County College wants to do, is their plan has that water that's going to come from the removal of 700 mature trees to be piped into Nomahegan Lake. That means at 10,000 gallons per tree per year, about 7 million additional gallons that are not being absorbed by those mature trees will go into Nomahegan Lake. This is happening at a time when the mayors along the Raway Riverbank towns are working with the Army Corps of Engineers with federal funds, I don't know who else's funds, on flood mitigation. We have a governor who's talking around the state about post-Hurricane Sandy flooding. This is a flood prevention program, not a flood mitigation program, but a flood prevention program. We know and we thank you for whatever efforts you did to make sure that the school did not come to you for that funding. For some reason, we're thankful that they withdrew it. But we also know that the school is now going to its donors to ask for money. This at a time when not only the county, but the county and the state combined give them 1/3 of their $66 million budget. Money is fungible. Money that you give them, which should be going for an education, is going towards destroying a town by creating more flooding. There are sports fields in other parts of the county. The students find it inconvenient. We are asking you what you are doing as freeholders to help us, because this is something that is beyond just saying that they've withdrawn the request for the funds. This is something that requires the leaders of the community to do something. You are elected by Cranford, by people in all of the towns. What are you doing to help us? This is something that is so important that I can't believe that anybody could sit by and think that it's okay to just say the funds have been, the request for the funds has been withdrawn, or that we've encouraged them not to do it. We need to step outside of the bureaucratic paradigms that exist, and we have to figure out a way to make this work. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Randy Lowe, 14 Colby Lane, Cranford, New Jersey, 20-year resident of Cranford. I live on Colby Lane. I've lived on Colby Lane for 10 years, but I used to live on Willow Street for 10 years. And when I was on Willow Street, we were affected by a storm, Hurricane Floyd, that came through. My wife and I had 2 young children at the time, and we're a very hard-working family. Both my wife and I both work. She was at work. I was putting the kids to bed, and she was at work while this storm was coming through. She left work, and I lost contact with her for 6 hours, and the water just started rising up, and no contact. Where is my wife? It was an emotional, tough, difficult time. And that is nothing compared to what's going on to Cranford residents these days. It's one storm after another. In the last 16 years, there's been three major storms. And this Union County College stormwater plan for their field only has to adhere to a 2 to 4 year storm. Doesn't make sense. The 700 trees, Mindy talked about it. 7 million gallons of water going into the Raway River. Chairman Hudak, I think you're from Linden, and I'm pretty sure the Raway River goes through Linden. I'm not sure the residents of Linden want that water there. It just doesn't make sense. I wanted to also talk about the resolution that the Cranford Township Committee has passed. There are many other committees in Cranford that has passed opposing this field. That includes the Cranford Advisory Board, the Environmental Commission, the Cranford Board of Education. I understand that the Township Committee has sent the freeholders a copy of the resolution, and they have asked you to write your own resolution opposing this field. I am asking you to do that on a roll call vote. Will you do that? No answer. One thing that I grew up learning from my parents is called the Golden Rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Everybody in this world should live by that rule, and the college is not living by that rule. Cranford has always been a good neighbor to the college. They're not being a good neighbor to Cranford. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Mike Norman, 12 Colby Lane, Cranford. I'm here to ask your support in talking to the Board of Governors of Union County College about not building the sports complex and finding an alternative field as a solution. The flooding, the parking traffic, the tree removal, and the environmental devastation are enough for them to explore other options. I am 100% pro-student, and I'm 100% pro-athlete in their schools, and I'm 100% against this field being built in that location. There's a petition that's being signed and just started, and we have over 900 signatures already on the petition. We have organized a group called Union County Neighborhoods United with both Cranford and Westfield joining together to stop this field from being built. The only solution that I see that will make the town and college work together is for the college to find another alternative for this field. And there are plenty of other alternatives. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Alicia Van Ostenbridge, 43-year resident of Cranford. I know Mindy mentioned that the college is seeking funding already, so I just wanted to share something with you. At the meeting that we went to with the trustees and the Board of Governors, we were told that they would take a vote within the next 2 months, and they would decide whether or not they would move forward with the field. Someone sent me something that I'd like to share with you. Dr. McMenemy is actually advertising for donors to contribute to the field. What I don't understand is how can she do that when the field isn't approved yet? So is this a done deal? Is she going ahead no matter what we do? Is this like an effort in fertility on our part? I don't know if you know anything about this. I'll pass this around, but on the better copy, I have the original. Here's the ad. Put your name here. They're going to have a wall of donors near the field. This is the Union College Foundation publication, which lists all their donors inside, so this is definitely their fundraising campaign. And right next to that is a picture of a nice new van they bought for their track and field team to travel with. So I just want to share this with you. You might not be aware of this. We don't even know what the Board of Trustees or the Board of Governors is aware of. We kind of feel, and you know, this is just our feeling from watching their faces at the meeting, we think they're in the dark on a lot of this. We think that President McMenemy might be getting letters from like our Environmental Commission or the Rahway River Watershed Committee or the Board of Ed or the Township. We're not sure if she's sharing that with her Board of Trustees or her Board of Governors. Is she required to? She wants this field, she might not be. So we need you guys to reach out to her and to say, stop. There's too much opposition. Pick up the phone. You've put Board of Trustee members on her board. Call them. Tell them, we don't want this. This is not good for the residents. It's not good for the county. It's not good for everyone along the Rahway River. We need your help with this. We really do. We're just a group of neighbors. We're struggling with this. We're trying to put it together. But if we had someone like the Union County Board of Freeholders behind us and making a few phone calls, I think it would really go a long way. She is definitely going to try to do this the best she can. She's looking for money. It hasn't even been voted on yet. So we really do need your help. Thank you. Could I just give this to you?
If you would mind giving that to the clerk, please. Thank you. Any other comments from the public? Ma'am, I'm sorry, just based on our rules, you have one time to come up and speak. I apologize.
Good evening, Chairman Hudak, ladies and gentlemen of the Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson Garwood. I think it was Randy, his name is. I mean, he mentioned about the golden rule, but you know, the government entities in Union County actually live by that other golden rule, and you all know what it is. He who has the gold rules, and that's you guys, and obviously you're controlling everything, or let's say there's a higher levels there, but basically you won't back down. When you get something in your head, that's it. You know, and they're afraid of the water, the flooding, the traffic. You know, you do fund them $14 million. I see somewhere in the budget there was another funding, $10 million. It might have been capital. So, you know, and there's vehicles and everything in that $10 million. So you give them a lot of money. It sure sounds like you should have enough leverage to put a stop to it if they're very concerned. So, and one of it is passing the resolution. So, to continue, as we left it the other time, where I was putting forth the evidence of you being a political boss. And by the way, I didn't vote whether you were a flunky or a boss. That was other people. I mean, you know, you can be a political boss and be very bad at it, which I think you are. But at this point, I was telling you to rescind that resolution, $200,000 to the guy who resigned in disgrace from McGreevy's administration because he was caught up in an insider trading scandal, and you're not doing that. I mean, now moving forward from that, there's additional items we're talking about, and one of them is in the budget, and I'm looking at this. It's called, this is a brand new department. Alpha Yellow obviously created it for some reason or other. Department of Strategic Planning and Intergovernment. Brand new department, $304,000 in salaries and wages. Could somebody please explain this to me, what this department is for? You never had it before.
It's a division, actually.
A division? Okay, thank you for correcting me. Can somebody explain it?
Oh, when you finish your comments.
Okay, well then let's continue. Let's go right into why I'm actually talking about that. Because there's a brand new job being created for Colleen Marr, the mayor of Fanwood, $81,000, division head of strategic planning and intergovernmental relationships. So obviously she's going to be the head of this brand new department. Why do I bring this up? Well, guess what? She's the political boss of Fanwood. She's your compadre. She's a political boss too. And in fact, to even take this up a level, she's the vice chair of the political party of the county. So she's actually your boss of bosses. So, I mean, here we are. Golden rule, you have a gold. You don't care about the public's interest. You're creating jobs for your cronies. Colleen Marr. Tell me how much experience she has. Maybe I'll open her resume to see it. She has no experience for this. Yet you're creating this job. Another fact. Roshana Cosby Hurling. It just so happens in Linden there's going to be somebody called Roshana Cosby Hurling running for on your political ticket. And I don't care about who it is, what party, but your political ticket. And she's going to be running for mayor. At least you had the common sense to get rid of that guy Brown who was thieving thousands of dollars from the clients' accounts and then wanted to run for mayor. You had common sense there. That's a compliment for you. But now Cosby Hurling, she's running for mayor. Well, guess who has a job? She was hired November 25th. She was hired by the county. Isn't that nice? And now she's running for mayor. It's like you can't make these things up. He who has the gold rules. Just gives it out to their friends. Here in Linden. So at least she can say she has a job, I guess. That's probably what it's about. So we're talking about you're a political boss through and through. You're not a freeholder. You're a political boss. And you can laugh about it all you want, but you are. And you're talking about, oh, well, Mr. Patterson wants attention. I don't want attention. I don't care about attention. You make sure, look, whoever the recording is, all it sees is the back of my head. People recognize me by my voice, by the way, when I walk around the county. It's all focused on you. The attention is on you. The attention is on you as a political boss. Low-show job at Kane College, giving jobs to the other political. You can throw me out if you want, because you're a political boss. You're not a freeholder. Prove it. Prove it.
Sit down.
And prove me wrong then.
Sit down or be walked out, sir. Your choice.
Thank you.
That's what I Any other comments from the members of the public? I'm going to close that portion. I do want to just briefly say to the individuals who made their way this evening here from Cranford, thank you for coming. We do appreciate your concerns. I know Freeholder Kowalski has been meeting with members of your town committee and talking about the issues, and we're talking with folks from the college on this issue. We did speak to the president through the Board of School Estimates, which was referenced earlier today, when they come forth to talk to us about capital improvements. And the one thing that myself, Freeholder Jallo, and Freeholder Mirabella expressed to them was, one, that was not something that we funded through that request, but also we expressed our concerns over the concerns we were hearing from the residents. And so, regarding any solicitations from the foundation for funds, I really can't speak to that because I did not know about that until you came here this evening. So we thank you for bringing that. Though, in fairness to Dr. McMenamin and the Union County Foundation, that's their job. It's their job to raise money from the outside, and that's the reality of their position. But I know you can rest assured that the Freeholder Board, we've heard your concerns, and we've expressed those concerns to the Board of Trustees, to the President of the college, and we're hoping that everyone can work through to a solution that is amicable for everyone. And I know that's not always possible, but we'll continue to try to make sure that that does happen. So we do appreciate you coming in this evening. I guess at this point we'll move to Freeholder comments, and I will start on my right with Freeholder Granados.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today I attended the Embassy Suites Hotel Fish and Ribbon Cutting, and what to me made this a special occasion is that through the partnership of the Union County Workforce Investment Board and Elizabeth Development Company, 85% of the people hired came through our on-the-job training program. And the great thing about that to local businesses is that there's many benefits. You can qualify to receive subsidies. You can also qualify for a work opportunity tax credit. This initiative is very important to all of us in Union County. It can definitely be beneficial to all businesses within Union County also. So I definitely ask you to reach out. If you have a business, reach out to the Workforce Investment Board, Antonio Rivera, who can definitely help you out and get you more information on participating in this program. And also in Trenton, Assemblyman Keano and Assemblyman Joe Crine have been working on Assembly Bill A2135 and counterpart in the Senate, S1696. These bills aim at extending New Jersey driving privileges to the state's estimated 500,000 undocumented immigrants. These bills would create a driving privilege card that could be used only for driving and not for other purposes, such as government identification. To qualify for this card, which would be valid for 4 years, potential drivers would have to prove both identity and residency. And the great thing about this bill is that it helps make sure we control and keep acknowledgement of the people on the road and making sure our roads are as safe as possible.
No comments.
Thank you, Freeholder Wright. Freeholder Kowalski, any comments?
I'd like to also thank the Cranford residents who came today. I have stated that I don't know if this mic is working. I've stated that I oppose this project, and I will be talking to President McMenamin. We'll do what we can on this. So, thanks for making more of the facts known. Thanks, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder Kowalski. Freeholder Carter.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to encourage Union County residents to participate in an online survey that will help identifying continuing needs related to Superstorm Sandy and its aftermath. The survey is called Health and Wellness Being Assessment. It's from the New Jersey Department of Health. It's a brief survey that will only take a few minutes, so I'm really asking and encouraging residents throughout the county to please come forward, go online, and take this survey. You will be asked to record how you were affected by the storm, what resources helped you recover, and whether you are still experiencing economic, physical, or even mental health impacts. The survey will help fill in gaps in the Sandy recovery effort, and that will make a big difference for you and your neighbors. You can find the link to the survey online in the Hot Topics section of our homepage at www.ucnj.org. I'd also like to thank the Cranford residents that have come and spoken before us, and this is something that we have truly been speaking with Freeholder Kowalski on, and all, and please, we hear your voices. Just wanted to make that known. Thank you.
Fielder Estrada.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to call your attention to the volunteer advocates of the Union County Rape Crisis Center. For the past 30 years, these exceptional volunteers have offered support and guidance to victims of sexual violence in our community. They have helped thousands of our fellow residents take steps to reclaim their lives in the aftermath of a crisis, and the Freeholder Board is very proud of them. With that in mind, and in looking forward for the future of these volunteers, the county encourages you to give the Rape Crisis Center a call. New volunteers are always needed, are always welcome. We'll receive full training and support from our staff and from experienced volunteers as well. You can reach the Rape Crisis Center at their hotline, phone number 908-233-7273. Again, this is the next training class is going to start in April 22nd. It's something to consider. We would appreciate it very, very much. Let me take the time also, April the 12th is really close nearing us. That's the date of the closing of the Skyway heading eastbound. That's going to have, I believe, an impact on many, many residents in our county. And I want to take the opportunity to thank my colleague, Sergio Granados, for taking this on himself and spearheading the Department of Transportation to ensure that our residents have ample information as to alternate routes, how to plan better, even to the point of view that he set up, was able to help the state to set up a bus service out of Watchung, actually Sears in Watchung. Well, it's not really, it's Plainfield, right? That part of the county there that's going to help our residents as well. But Sergio, I do need to congratulate you because you took that on from the very beginning. I know that I had, as I serve in the New Jersey Transportation Planning Authority, we've had numerous meetings, and when speaking to the people from the state of New Jersey, the Department of Transportation, your name was very well mentioned. So
Good way.
we thank you very much. Of course, in a good way. I mean, we care about our residents, and that's my next lead point to Cranford. There is no doubt that this is a very difficult issue, understanding that very often when I hear remarks like this, I think of NIMBY, not in my backyard. And this is a problem that we face constantly, and issues of people and things that happen around them. There's no doubt that the information that was given has a lot of credence that I heard today that I was not possibly aware of. The numbers of trees, I believe that's something that was dealt with going back, because if there's anybody here who is about concern for trees, is me. When I was a chair, I actually planted 4,000 trees in the County of Union. So I know what trees do. I know the importance of them in our society. I know how it helps people in health issues, to the way that it absorbs water. But at the same time, I want to make sure, and this is not a reactive board. We look at issues. It may take us longer, and then we decide. Now, I've had numerous conversations with BJ about this issue because I think it's important not only to her who lives in Cranford, but to all of us. And she is I consider the voice of Cranford in this board, who continuously, because the issue of whether the field goes up or the field doesn't go up, the reality is that when we get the next 100-year hurricane or the next year storm, we are going to have flooding. And it goes back to the issue, not only in Cranford, but many areas that we've had built property in areas that we shouldn't have built to begin with. So that's the reality. Now let's see what we can work through, working together with the college, because they have a need as well. And I've heard some of their concerns. I've heard people concerned from the college families of the needs of fields, etc. So the mere fact that we're not jumping in to support a resolution is because we want to get the facts. We want to see what can be done. And a resolution does not necessarily solve this problem. And this is why it's so important that the city and its residents, that's you folks, sit with the college to try to find viable solutions to this problem. Now, I hear you shaking your head. Well, maybe that hasn't happened yet. I understand.
Listen, today I have a soliciting phone call from my alma mater, Kent University, who is also raising funds for other things. That's fundraising, alumni association, that is their prime function in life. They will raise money for the field, they will raise money for X building, they will raise money for something else. So keep that in perspective. I don't think that this board has shone away from this issue, on the contrary, and let time see what we can come up with. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Freeholder Estrada, thank you very much. Freeholder Mirabella, any comments?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm happy to talk a little bit about the Medal of Honor online curriculum. Many folks on the board and the members of the public remember last year that we unveiled a new memorial dedicated to the 10 Medal of Honor recipients from Union County that their service spanned from the Civil War up through the Vietnam War. In an effort to share this rich vein in Union County history with the public, we've arranged for an online curriculum about the 10 Medal of Honor recipients in the county website. I take personal pride, and I really want to thank Franklin Stebbins of Clark, a history teacher at ALJ, Arthur Johnson High School, who volunteered to draft this curriculum. And I've talked with Mr. Stebbins several times along the way, and he's kept me up to date with how that curriculum was developing. He worked with this board in our Office of Veterans Affairs in the Department of Human Services as well to develop the final version for our website. So if you're a history teacher, a student, or a history buff, I encourage you to visit the curriculum for some new insights and share our rich history of these Medal of Honor recipients. You can find it at UCNJ/Medal of Honor Memorial. And I appreciate that, his work. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Freeholder Mirabella, thank you very much. County Manager, any comments this evening?
No comments, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, County Manager. County Council, anything from you?
No, no comments, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Vice Chairman, anything to add?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the 40th anniversary of the Federal Community Development Block Grant Program, so I'd like to take special note of the upcoming Community Development Week celebration. Union County will commemorate the occasion with a program in Rahway at the Union County Performing Arts Center on April 23rd. The block grant program has been a tremendous success in Union County and across the country, with improvements to housing and other aspects of community environment. The ripple effect is a stronger platform for economic development which benefits everyone. A great deal of the redevelopment in Rahway, for example, is due to block grant funding. Other recent projects include the Plainfield Senior Citizen Center and the Occupational Center in Roselle. Annually, block grant grants fund support affordable senior and disabled housing projects and programs, facility improvements, and social services throughout Union County. We have much to celebrate this year, and the Freeholder Board will work hard to ensure that the block grant program continues its successful track record in the years to come. I wanted to alert all the freeholders to that and commend all of those who work on that. Also wanted to respond to or address some of the statements made from the residents of Cranford. Thank you also for coming out to speak to us today. Just to reiterate some of the comments made by my colleagues. And there was a statement made to the podium that the college withdrew a request, and that is in fact accurate, but it was withdrawn because we took the position that we weren't going to fund the building of that position through our capital fund. I mean, it was a direct result of that decision, and as it stands now, and I'm sure you're aware, we are not funding that. I think you are absolutely correct that there is, in addition to that, potentially some influence that we can make to them, and we will look into that. But you know, we have to get all the facts. We have to make sure that the project, if it goes through, or even as proposed, is sound and makes sense. And we need to look into the facts, as Freeholder Estrada said. And then we need to discover, I mean, if there is any influence that we can assert whatsoever. I mean, a resolution, you know, saying that we're against it, you know, if that's the case, you know, they can still go forward and make it happen anyway. You've seen that they do have the ability to get grants, to get funding from donors and other things. So, I mean, we really need to look into it, and you guys brought up a few points that I had not been aware of that I certainly will take it upon myself to look into as well. And I know Freeholder Kowalski has called me at least twice or three times to encourage me to look into this, so I will do that as well, and then see what, if anything, we can do in this regard. But I thank you for coming out and speaking to us, because we are your voice, as you said, and you know, you deserve for us to speak on your behalf to this entity. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. First, you know, I made a few comments when Janice Lillian came up from the YWCA. We had an extraordinarily successful event today at Kane University with National Crime Victims' Rights Week in mind. I'd like to make a special mention of the Domestic Violence Symposium that took place today, as the Freeholder Board was one of the sponsors. In the past, it was commonplace to stigmatize the victim of domestic violence, the vast majority of which are women and children, and leave them to enduring their suffering alone. We've come a long way over the past few decades. We recognize domestic violence as a public health and safety issue that involves the entire community. However, while awareness of domestic violence issues has increased, the statistics show that domestic violence is an epidemic within our community, all of our 21 communities. I was very pleased earlier this year when I received an invitation after our reorganization from our acting prosecutor, Grace Park, and she asked me to come in and sit down with her to talk about our priorities as a Freeholder Board and some of the things she was looking to do as the new prosecutor for Union County. And, you know, we talked about some of the issues we were working on, and I said, what do you have in mind for 2014 in the prosecutor's office? And she told me about a program that she was hoping to get off the ground this year, and she has, utilizing additional staff, no additional funds, but to create a system of vertical integration in regards to domestic violence. And oftentimes, when someone is a victim of domestic violence, they may begin in the municipal court, go to the county court system, then back down to the municipal court, and then they get lost. And then the individual that's abusing them reoffends, and then the cycle continues. What the prosecutor has proposed is a system in which where someone who's a victim will get to know one person at the county level and then one detective, and that person will stay with them throughout the resolution of their case, and they will give them the support and the services they need to bring themselves out of their terrible situation. It's a revolutionary approach, and it's only going to be made possible through cooperation through the various law enforcement entities in Union County, through the municipalities, and through many of the social welfare organizations like the YWCA. So we were very pleased with the turnout today, which was outstanding. I know many members of this board attended, and it was an impressive showing of the community coming together to try and end something that goes across racial lines, economic lines. It doesn't really matter what community you live in, because many of our neighbors suffer in silence. So I want to congratulate the YWCA of Union County, the prosecutor's office, and all the stakeholders today who came together at Kane University to take a stand against domestic violence. And finally, now that we are really seeing a break in a especially harsh winter season, we can look forward to another holiday season. I want to wish everyone the best for a happy gathering of family and friends for Passover and Easter, which both are coming up next week. And that will conclude my comments. We do have a need to go into executive session this evening. County Counsel, would you mind reading the statement, please?
Chairman, thank you. Pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, the public body may enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing certain enumerated subjects. The board now wishes to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing ongoing contract negotiations with the Union County Improvement Authority and attorney-client privilege communications relative to Reynolds Specialized Hospital, and personnel matter and attorney-client privilege communications relating to an arbitration matter entitled In the Matter of the County of Union and PBA Local 199A. The minutes of the executive session shall be separated from the minutes of the open public session. The minutes of the executive session, redacted as appropriate and necessary, shall be available in approximately 30 days. Clerk to the board shall retain the original minutes until such time as the confidential limitations have been removed, at which time they shall be made available. Upon the affirmative vote of a majority of the members present, the board may enter into executive session. Upon the board's return, it will not take any action on the matters discussed.
Thank you, County Council. May I entertain a motion to send us to executive session? The motion was made by Freeholder Mirabella and seconded by Freeholder Carter. Mr. Clerk, would you kindly read the roll?
Freeholder Carter.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Granados.
Yes.
Freeholder Kowalski.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella. Freeholder Wright.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jallo.
Aye.
And Chairman Hudak.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 8 votes in the affirmative.
We are now in executive session. I hear Freeholder Carter's motion.
Seconded.
Seconded by the Vice Chairman. All in favor?
Roll call vote.
The gentleman from Fan would ask for a roll call, so if you would please...
Yes.
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 No.
He wants to just stay here.
Yes. Aye. We are adjourned.